How much do you really know about cars? You might know the basics, but I guarantee you haven't heard some of these mind-blowing facts. Did you know that one car holds the record for over 3 million miles on the road? Or that a speeding ticket once cost more than a Ferrari? And what about the tiny car that doesn't even have a reverse gear? Stick around because these 37 rare car facts will change how you see cars forever. And trust me, the last one? It proves a car can outlive its owner. Let's dive in. Fact number 37. The most popular car color is white. Ever noticed how many white cars are on the road? There's a reason for that. White isn't just a clean, classic choice. It's also the most popular car color worldwide. Car buyers love it because it hides scratches and dirt better than darker colors. But here's something even more interesting. Fact number 36. White cars are 10% less likely to get into accidents. That's right, studies show that white cars are 10% less likely to be involved in crashes than darker vehicles. Why? Visibility. White cars are easier to spot in low light, making them stand out on the road. So choosing white isn't just about looks. It could save your life. And speaking of saving, fact number 35. Almost 80% of an average car is recyclable. Cars don't just end up in junkyards forever. Around 80% of a car's materials, like metal, plastic, and even tires, can be reused. Old cars help make new ones. That means the car you're driving today might have parts from a vehicle that was on the road decades ago. But not every car gets scrapped. Some are too unique to throw away. Fact number 34. The Peel P50 is the world's lowest street legal car. Meet the Peel P50, a tiny car that looks like it belongs in a toy store. At just 39 inches tall, it's the smallest street legal car ever made. There's only one seat, one door, and no reverse gear. You have to lift it and turn it around physically. Imagine pulling up next to a truck in one of these. But early cars weren't just small, they were also weird to drive. Fact number 33. The first cars didn't have steering wheels. Drivers used a lever to turn. Steering wheels? Not a thing when cars were first invented. Instead, drivers used a tiller, a lever controlling the front wheels. It was more like steering a boat than driving a car. Can you imagine trying to parallel park like that? Fact number 32. In 1900, about 40% of cars were electric. Yes, electric cars aren't new. In 1900, 40% of all cars were electric. They were quieter and easier to drive than gas-powered ones. But once gasoline became cheap and easy to find, electric cars disappeared until now. With modern EVs taking over, it's like history is repeating itself. And speaking of history, here's one invention that changed driving forever. Fact number 31. The three-point seatbelt, invented by Volvo in 1959, saves a life every 6 minutes. Seatbelts weren't always this safe. Volvo engineer Niels Bohlin invented the three-point seatbelt in 1959, saving millions of lives. Volvo could have kept the patent, but instead, they let every car company use it for free. Why? Because safety mattered more than money. That decision still saves a life every 6 minutes. But most of the time, cars aren't even moving. Fact number 30. The average family car spends 95% of its life parked. Think about it. Your car probably spends more time sitting in a driveway than on the road. Most people only drive a couple of hours a day, meaning 95% of the time, it's just parked. But when cars hit the road, some drivers take things to extremes. Fact number 29. The largest speeding fine ever was $290,000 given to a driver in Switzerland. A Swiss man got hit with a $290,000 speeding ticket. Why so high? In Switzerland, speeding fines are based on your income. This guy was a millionaire. So when he got caught doing 85 miles per hour in a 50 miles per hour zone, his fine wasn't just a slap on the wrist. It was nearly the price of a Ferrari. Fact number 28. The world's fastest police car is a Bugatti Veyron in Dubai, reaching 253 miles per hour. Dubai's police don't just chase criminals, they outrun them. Their fleet includes a Bugatti Veyron, a supercar that hits 253 miles per hour. Imagine trying to get away from that. Dubai's cops have Lamborghinis, Ferraris, and even Aston Martins. But if you think that's extreme, wait until you see the longest car ever made. Fact number 27. The longest car ever built was 100 feet long and had a swimming pool and a waterbed. Yes, you read that right. The 100-foot-long limousine had 26 wheels, a hot tub, a swimming pool, and even a waterbed inside. It was originally built as a stunt, but still holds the record for the longest car ever made. Can you imagine trying to park that thing? Fact number 26. The Mercedes-Benz star represents dominance on land, sea, and air. That three-pointed star on a Mercedes-Benz isn't just for looks. It symbolizes the company's ambition to dominate transportation on land, sea, and air. In the early 1900s, Mercedes-Benz wasn't just making cars. They were also designing boats and aircraft engines. While they never took over the skies, their cars ruled the roads. But they're not the only brand with a hidden meaning in their logo. Fact number 25. Audi's rings symbolize 4 companies that merged to form the Audi Group. Those 4 interlocking rings on an Audi, they represent 4 companies: Audi, DKW, Horch, and Wanderer, that merged in 1932 to create Auto Union, which later became Audi. So, if you thought the logo had something to do with the Olympics, nope, it's all about history. Speaking of history, let's discuss how different countries name car parts. Fact number 24. In British English, the trunk is referred to as the boot, and the hood is referred to as the bonnet. If you ever visit the UK, don't ask where the trunk is. They call it the boot. And the hood? That's a bonnet? It's the same English language, but when it comes to cars, Americans and Brits speak a whole different dialect. But no matter what you call it, every driver loves good music in the car. Fact number 23. First car radio appeared in 1924 and was quite expensive. Imagine paying $200 for a car radio in 1924. That's over $3,000 today. Back then, having a radio in your car was a luxury only the wealthy could afford. Now, we have Bluetooth, Apple CarPlay, and satellite radio. But it all started with a crackly AM station in a car nearly 100 years ago. And speaking of old things, fact number 22. The word car might come from the Latin word carus. Ever wonder where the word car comes from? It might trace back to the Latin word carus, meaning a wheeled vehicle or wagon. Over time, languages changed, and by the late 19th century, we had the word car as we know it today. But what about the fuel that makes these cars move? Fact number 21. It only takes about half an ounce of fuel to start a car. That's right, starting your car only takes about half an ounce of fuel, or roughly a shot glass full of gas. Most people think turning the key, or pushing the button, takes a lot of power, but modern engines are super efficient. That's a tiny amount of fuel compared to what cars burn while idling. Fact number 20. Windshield wipers were invented by a woman named Mary Anderson in 1903. Next time you use your windshield wipers, thank Mary Anderson. She invented them in 1903 after watching trolley drivers stick their heads out in the rain because their windows were covered in water. At first, no car company wanted her idea, but by the 1920s, almost every car had them. A small invention, but one that changed driving forever. Now, let's talk about speed. Fact number 19. The world's first speeding ticket was issued in 1896. Yes, the first speeding ticket ever was for going just 8 miles per hour. In 1896, a British man named Walter Arnold was caught breaking the speed limit at a time when most cars could barely move faster than a bicycle. He had to pay a fine of 1 shilling, which would be a couple of dollars today. If only modern speeding tickets were that cheap. Fact number 18. 95% of Americans drive an automatic vehicle. Manual transmission is almost extinct in the US. 95% of American drivers use automatic cars, while most people still drive stick shifts in Europe. Why the difference? Automatics are easier to drive, especially in traffic. But despite this, one of the most popular cars in the US came from overseas. Fact number 17. The Honda Accord was the first foreign car produced in the US in 1982. Before 1982, every foreign car in America was imported. But that changed when Honda opened a plant in Ohio, making the Accord the first foreign car built on US soil. Today, Honda, Toyota, and even BMW manufacture cars in America, proving that foreign doesn't always mean made somewhere else. And speaking of innovation, fact number 16. The Citroën DS was one of the first cars with self-leveling suspension. In 1955, Citroën introduced the DS, a car so ahead of its time that it looked like something out of a science fiction movie. It had a self-leveling suspension, meaning it could adjust its ride height automatically. This made it extremely smooth to drive, no matter the road conditions. Even today, luxury cars still use suspension tech inspired by this classic French masterpiece. Fact number 15. Lamborghini started as a tractor manufacturer before making sports cars. Before Lamborghini became synonymous with luxury and speed, it was all about tractors. That's right, Ferruccio Lamborghini started his company in 1948 making farm equipment. But after a heated argument with Enzo Ferrari about the quality of his Ferrari's clutch, Lamborghini decided to build his own sports car. And, well, the rest is history. But Lamborghini isn't the only brand known for precision engineering. Fact number 14. Some Rolls-Royce engines are so well balanced that they can balance a coin on them while running. Rolls-Royce takes engineering perfection to another level. Their engines are so smooth that you can balance a coin upright on them while they're running. No vibration, no shaking, just pure, silent power. That's what makes Rolls-Royce the definition of luxury. But when it comes to longevity, one car has outlasted them all. Fact number 13. The longest-running car model in history is the Chevrolet Suburban, introduced in 1935. The Chevy Suburban has been around for nearly 90 years, making it the longest-running car model ever. It first hit the roads in 1935, and 12 generations later, it's still going strong. No other model has stayed in continuous production for that long. But if we're talking about legendary cars, how about the most expensive one ever sold? Fact number 12. The most expensive car ever sold at auction is the 1955 Mercedes-Benz 300 SLR Uhlenhaut Coupe. In 2022, a 1955 Mercedes-Benz 300 SLR Uhlenhaut Coupe shattered records, selling for $143 million at auction. That's more than the cost of a private island or even a small fleet of private jets. Only 2 of these ultra-rare race cars exist, making it the holy grail for collectors. But none of this would have been possible without the first ever car. Fact number 11. The first car was invented in 1885 by Carl Benz, a German engineer. The automobile as we know it began in 1885 when Carl Benz built the Benz patent motor wagon. It had 3 wheels, a tiny engine, and a top speed of 10 miles per hour. His wife, Bertha Benz, took it on the first ever road trip, proving that cars were the future. But how far have we come in terms of speed? Fact number 10. The fastest car in the world is the Koenigsegg Agera RS. The Koenigsegg Agera RS holds the official record as the world's fastest car, hitting an insane 277.9 miles per hour in 2017. That's faster than most small planes at cruising speed, and with today's technology, who knows? We might see a 300-mile-per-hour production car soon. But while speed gets all the attention, most people don't realize how many parts go into building a car. Fact number 9. The average car has over 30,000 parts, including screws, bolts, and nuts. From the engine to the smallest screw, An average car is made up of 30,000 different parts. Every wire, bolt, and nut plays a role in ensuring the car runs smoothly. That's a lot of pieces working together, but none of it would matter without a way to control traffic. Fact number 8. The world's first traffic light was installed at Parliament Square in London, Ohio in 1868. Traffic lights have been around for over 150 years. The first one was installed in 1868 in London, and it wasn't even electric. It was gas-powered. Unfortunately, it exploded, injuring a police officer. It took another 40 years to introduce the first electric traffic light in Ohio, USA. And speaking of records, let's talk about the world's best-selling car. Fact number 7. The Toyota Corolla is the best-selling car model of all time. No car has sold more than the Toyota Corolla. Since 1966, Toyota has sold over 50 million Corollas, making it the best-selling car. This little sedan has taken over roads worldwide and is reliable, fuel-efficient, and affordable. But if you think there are a lot of Corollas, wait until you hear this. Fact number 6. In Los Angeles, there are more cars than people. Los Angeles is a city built for cars, and it shows there are more cars than actual people. Traffic jams are a daily nightmare, with around 8 million vehicles in LA. No wonder people spend hours sitting in traffic every week. And where there are cars, accidents are bound to happen. Fact number 5. The first car accident occurred in 1891 in Ohio. The first recorded car accident happened in Ohio in 1891. James Lambert was driving one of the first gasoline-powered cars when he hit a tree root and crashed into a hitching post. Luckily, no one was seriously hurt, but today, car production has skyrocketed. Fact number 4. 165,000 cars are produced each day. Every day, around 165,000 new cars roll off assembly lines worldwide. That's over 60 million cars a year. It's mind-blowing to think about how many vehicles are constantly being made. And when it comes to safety, one feature stands out. Fact number 3. Airbags inflate in just 30 milliseconds. Car crashes happen in the blink of an eye, and so do airbags. They deploy in just 30 milliseconds, faster than a human eye can blink. That's why airbags are one of the most life-saving inventions in automotive history. But sadly, not every crash ends safely. Fact number 2. The world record for the tightest parallel park is just 3.15 inches of space. Think parallel parking is tough? Try squeezing into a spot with only 3.15 inches to spare. That's the world record for the tightest parallel park, set by a driver who slid a Mini Cooper into a space barely larger than the car itself. Precision driving at its finest. But when it comes to endurance, one car still holds the ultimate record. Fact number 1. The highest mileage on a personal car is over 3 million miles. A man named Irv Gordon drove his 1966 Volvo P1800 for 3,260,257 miles, the highest mileage ever recorded on a single personal vehicle. That's like driving to the moon and back more than 6 times. He kept up with regular maintenance, proving that if you take care of your car, it can last a lifetime. That's just the beginning with 37 rare car facts most drivers never heard about. If you want more surprising car facts, hit like and subscribe for more awesome car content. And don't miss this next video, 21 car myths stupid people fall for. Click the link below to watch.